Hello everyone, welcome back to the Little Shop of Hoarders and the PDX Picker channel. I am Chris. We're going to pull some orders that sold for me on eBay. We're going to talk about what has been selling for me lately and also some amazing things that I just sourced at the thrift store. So stick around after the intro song. We'll get into all that and have a great video.
That kind of stuff you throw away, I'll sell on eBay.
Okay, so it's been 2 days since my last order pull video. I only have 5 things going out. So that's not great. I'm not super happy with the sales. The sales total, the dollar value is pretty decent so far for the month, but that's primarily because I sold one item for $785. So of course that's going to really have a positive effect on my sales numbers in terms of total dollars, but the total number of sales I'm having is not that great. So what's a good cure for that? Sourcing and listing great inventory, and that's what happened for me at the thrift store today. Today's actually Thursday. I went out a day early. Normally I go on Friday, but I had a little extra time this afternoon, and boy, am I happy with going out, with the results of going out on Thursday. So I'm going to go over what it is that I found, and then after that we'll go over some of the things that sold for me. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you, I happen to find 2 of these, which is great. They're these AT&T All-Fi home internet hubs. They are new in the box. Come with the well, at least this one comes with the directions and everything. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but I picked these up for $9.99 each. And these have a really good sell-through rate, about $75 for each of those. I'm going to keep a running tally of how much I spent on everything and then what the perceived value is going to be, and I'll show you that at the end. But so far, with these 2 items, $20 spent, $150 of value. And just so you know, this alone will pay for all my purchases at the thrift store today. So everything else from here on out is essentially pure profit. All right, a couple of clothing items here. We'll start with these Sorel boots. Nice pair of, I don't remember the model on them. There's only one that has sold in the last 90 days, none listed. But picked these up for $12.99, and the ones that sold for $50. And then this is a Resistol, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, Resistol XXX Beaver cowboy hat. Picked this up for $9.99. These have a great sell-through rate and should get $75 at least for that. It's in really good condition. No stains, no creases, no dents that aren't supposed to be there. So right here we've got $23 spent and another $125 in sales. I have a couple of mobility-related items here. This is a Dawn Joy knee brace, and paid $5.99 for these. These should usually sell in the $40 to $50 range, but we'll keep it conservative and say $40. And these are interesting. These are Silipose mobility gel liners. These are for folks who have prosthetics and they need something to cover up their leg area in this particular case. These sell for about $25 each. Got 2 of them for $5.99, so we have a total of $18 and probably, let's see, $90 worth of sales on those. All right, you probably know if you've watched this channel that I love sourcing good quality Bibles, so I got lucky again and found one. Here is a Zondervan Life Application Bible. It's a bonded leather cover. It does have somebody's name on there, which will have some effect. Pick this up for $3.99. That should probably sell for $25. Could very well be more, but I'll be conservative and say $25. And then this is a vintage late 90s Oster professional hair trimmer. Professional hair clippers, and looks to be in really good condition. I tested it out and it works. The reason I know that it's vintage is it has the receipt on it when it was purchased from Fred Meyer in 1998. 12/21/1998 for $19.99. It's kind of interesting to take a look at this and see what the cost of some things were back in the day. It's interesting, here's a gallon of milk for $2.75. That actually hasn't changed much price over time, but anyway, kind of interesting, kind of fun to have a little blast from the past with these old receipts. But so this should sell for $25. This one, I'm not entirely certain, but I think probably can safely get $30 for this. So this one we have spent $8 and $4, so $12 spent and $55 of value. I will say some of those clippers can sell for $60 to $80. It's possible that these fall into that category, but unlikely, so that's why I'm just going to safely call it $30. So speaking of vintage grocery items, talking about that 1998 Fred Meyer receipt from earlier, here is a vintage Safeway rain jacket. I'm going to assume this is what the courtesy clerks wore, or the folks that bag your groceries and then go out into the parking lot and pick up carts and stuff. I'm assuming this is what they wore. This is, I don't know when exactly it was made, but I'm fairly certain it's vintage. It's got a made in the USA, hard to see there, made in the USA tag on it. Picked this up for $4. Believe it or not, one of these did sell last year, November of 2023, for $55. So I'm gonna say that that is worth $55. And then this is an Osprey bag. Osprey is a pretty good maker of bags and backpacks and things. This is their Astro laptop bag. Very good condition. Picked this up for half off, so that's $6.50. That one should sell for $30. So we got $6.50 and $4, $10.50 and $85 of value. Found a couple of really nice pairs of boots as well. We have a pair of Carolina, can't remember the name of this model. It's the 550 number. And there's a term for when you have the laces covered like this, your toe covered. It's a protection thing, but these are made in the USA in pretty good, decent condition. Picked these up for $15. Those should sell, I'm guessing, for $60 to maybe $70. New, these are over, I think they're over $300, but if you have a little bit of condition issues, there's a cut there in the leather that obviously is more just cosmetic than anything else. The function on them is still fine. The soles are good. This pair, I just realized, does not have any laces, so dang it. It's not this pair, but this one shoe. That's a bit annoying, but we'll just sell them without the laces, I guess. Here's a pair of Red Wing, I don't remember the model on these, but they are BOA cable, and just realized one thing I didn't do when I was at the store was check to see if the BOA cable works. So let's figure that out now. Good to go on that one. It's a good sign. So this is how you test BOA cables. What you want to do is you need to pull it out, and that will allow it to move, or allow it to loosen, I should say. So we're going to loosen it by turning to the left. And that should make these obviously looser so you can stick your foot in. And then you want to push it closed and just turn it to the right. And if you see it tightening, then it's working. Some of these will not tighten. There's some sort of issue with it, and they basically can't be worn if the BOA cable isn't working. So in this case, they are working, so that's great. Picked these up for just $8, $7.99 for some reason. These should sell for probably $90, but we'll be a little bit more conservative and say $80. So we got $25 in purchases and a value of, we'll just say $150 estimated value. All right, and now we are on to the big money wild cards. These have a lot of potential value, but there's some issues going into it that we'll have to figure out before we can determine exactly how much they're worth. But we have a big Mega Bloks Dragons Crystal Wars set. And a couple of things that this doesn't have going for it is there's no box. So that's a bit of a bummer, but one thing it does have going for it is the instruction manual here. So if this happens to be complete and have all of the pieces, this is worth over $200. This is, with the box, it's worth $300 and some dollars. I'm gonna say safely $200 if it's complete. If it's not complete, it doesn't really have much value at all. Maybe it would sell for $40 or so, or maybe even a little bit more. But of course people want to buy complete things. So we're gonna have to test this out and put it together and cross our fingers that this is all complete. I paid $12.50 for it, so there's some risk, a little bit of risk, potentially losing $12.50, but my wife's gonna put it together. She loves to do Lego sets like this, and so I kind of get some free labor in regards to that, but has a very big payoff if that does, in fact, if it is in fact complete. And the same goes with this. This is, I don't even know what this is. I haven't looked it up yet. This is, this tag on it, or the label on it, says Horcher Medical Systems. And it's an original Horcher battery charger. Didn't know, obviously that's what it is a battery charger. I have not looked into, like I said, what that is per se. We have some issues here. This is supposed to have a plastic connector that you basically would have a plastic connector that you plug into whatever this is charging, and it doesn't have that. Everything else though is here. I think potentially I might be able to get one of those plastic chargers, because I'm assuming it is somewhat of a universal size that maybe I can find at Amazon or something like that. If I'm able to find that and put it on, this item that I spent $12.99 for sells for over $300. Like I said, I don't know what this is. Horcher Medical Systems, some sort of heavy-duty 24-volt battery charger. I'm guessing it probably could be a wheelchair or something of that nature, some sort of medical device like that. But anyway, this could be worth next to nothing. I could probably still sell this to have, and maybe somebody else would be able to figure out how to do this. Certainly not going to sell it for over $300 if that was the case, but I could probably sell it for, let's say, $100. I don't know. I'm going to be conservative and say that this is also worth $200. I'm going to kind of split the middle. So on these two items here, which I spent a total of $25.50, there is $400 plus of value. Could be less than that, but I'm going to safely say, or conservatively say, $400. All right, so I looked up the Horcher Medical Systems battery charger. I believe it is used for some sort of a lift, maybe to lift patients in and out of bed. I'm not positive on that, but I think that's what it's used for. But after tallying everything up, I spent $134 on all those items, and the potential value, and this is conservative to a certain extent, is $1,055. So that is an amazing 2-hour thrift haul. So essentially, I'm hopefully going to make, off of 2 hours of sourcing work, over $1,000 in gross sales. That is certainly going to help turn my sales around. But let's go ahead and start pulling those orders that have sold for me. So I decided to give in, and I'm running a 25% sale on all of my Halloween items because, as I've mentioned before many times, I am leaving on a vacation on October 23rd, so I'm missing out on at least a couple of good Halloween selling days, and I have about 25 items that are Halloween related that are listed. Well, this is the first one that's sold based off of my sale. It's a 1990s, mid-90s sometime, Jimmy animated talking Dracula figure. I picked that up for $3 at the Thriftapalooza, and that sold on sale for $18.71 plus shipping. I'm running a 25% off sale. I have sold two things, although this one doesn't appear to be, maybe it is yeah, it is on sale. So I've sold two things off of that sale so far, so it's better than nothing, but still frustratingly low. None of my costumes, none of my masks have sold, so I don't know. I just don't know what's going on. Are any of you having good luck selling Halloween items so far this year? Comment down below. Please let me know. Maybe I am just doing something wrong, but let me know if you're having good success or not in the comments. This next item is, it's interesting. I had 3 of these exact, well, similar items, and I sold them all at 3 different times to the same buyer. The first one I auctioned off. The second one I listed and put out a best offer feature, and they offered me about 75% of what I was asking for it. And then this time I thought, you know what? I'm just going to put it out there with no offer, no best offer feature turned on. And I'm not kidding, the same buyer bought it full price within 45 minutes of me listing it. It is this vintage, well, of course it's vintage, this Furrow magazine. I apologize for the glare. Let's get this out of here. It's a Furrow magazine from 1916. This is that John Deere magazine that they put out. John Deere put it out and they sent it to the hardware and implement stores. around the country. This is a really good condition one from 1916 with a color cover, and John Deere collectors, I guess, love to have these because of the farm implement ads in the back. So this one I sold, picked this up for essentially $1 in this lot of ephemera, paper ephemera that I bought at an auction. And this one sold for $99.95 plus shipping, again to that same buyer who bought all 3 of my furrows for a total of about $235 for the 3 of them that I picked up for $1 each. So very awesome pickup on that one. Those just don't come up too often that are that old. They're, you know, they were essentially, I don't even know how to describe them. It's almost to me like it would be the magazine that Costco sends out, the Costco Connection. And I don't know about you, but let's say that only one small, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I don't keep the Costco Connection, and I'm certainly not going to keep it for over 100 years. And I guess that's maybe kind of like how that is. So yes, those are pretty rare because I'm sure a lot of people just tossed them out. Sold my first Cobra skeleton. This one right here, I picked these up for $1 at a yard sale. I have 6 of them total. They're made by a particular company. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's not super well known anyway. But these are neat. The jaw moves, and then you can pose these to kind of sit on its own, and you know, like, you'll just have to take my word for it, but you can set it up so it looks kind of like it's coiled and ready to strike. Picked those up for $1, sold that one for $14.96 plus shipping. I have 5 more of those listed still. If you're interested in one of those, look them up on my store. They're cool. Pretty inexpensive right now because you can get them for sale, 25% off. And not to be too crazy, but I did sell 2 items of clothing. I normally sell items of clothing pretty regularly. That's a big portion of my inventory. I wish those ones sold. I have a very cool pair of vintage Carhartts that should be worth around 100 bucks, but I have them listed for 150 and have not had any real traction on it. But that more recent pair of Levi's 540s sold. 550s. Levi's 550s here. I probably picked these up for $4 or so at my favorite thrift store. And maybe even picked them up for $2 at a yard sale. Let me just give you the exact number here. Yeah, I paid $3 for those, so it must have been at a yard sale or something. And those sold for $16 plus shipping. And then the last item that sold, took longer to sell than I thought, but I guess it's more to the season now. This is a running jacket, and I picked this up for $2 at my church rummage sale in the area that I find a lot of good stuff at. It is a really nice condition Brooks high visibility running jacket. I think it's a men's size large. Yeah, so these are designed for high visibility, running in the rain or at night, and it's got the reflective on here, and that sold for $25 plus shipping. So as I mentioned, not a ton of sales, only 5, but I am still super stoked about the day because of the great sourcing trip that I went on. So thanks so much for watching. That's going to be it for today's video. Please like this video if you did, subscribe to my channel to get more content like this in the future. Good luck with all your reselling ventures out there. We'll catch you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.